All right. Hey, guys, I think we're live. We're going to do some game design. It's lunchtime here on a Friday. Give me a second here to check in on my signal to make sure that we are up and running. I'm going to do some fast social media posts, and then we'll get into some game design here for a little bit. So, doing a mic check here real fast. So, yeah, that sounds pretty rich. I'm good with it. Okay, cool. So let's grab that. We're going to grab the link here so we can do the posts. And I will entertain you with my origin story while I click a bunch of social media buttons. Hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish online. I've been creating content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, publishing on the DMsGuild since 2018. I've been a DM since 1987, a freelance illustrator since 1999. And I started creating content for 5th edition mainly because they started creating Magic the Gathering settings like Ravnica, Strixhaven, and Theros. And there was a lot of anticipation that perhaps we would see official language for a color mana system instead of spell slots and the Vancian spellcasting and the 8 schools of magic, but we didn't get anything. So it's like, well, if they aren't going to publish it in an official D&D Magic the Gathering book, then I guess we're never getting it. And that's what got me started on creating content, creating the color magic system for D&D 5e. I am really proud of that, and we're going to be, beginning of next year, we're going to be updating all of those mechanics and rules for the 2024 set that came out. But also that came out with 2024 in the DMG was the Bastion system. Which is a callback to the old Beckme Dominion system where you got to a name level, your character gains X amount of levels, and then you started attracting followers and having territories or properties or like a church or a thieves' den or whatever. And it would start setting up this geopolitical situation where your characters were powerful enough that they could start influencing the world around them. So in the vein of 5e philosophy, they kind of boiled down the complexity to be more of just a tool of engagement that had specific bonuses that it gave your characters depending on how you set it up. And you would basically tell the DM, these are the things that I want to get from my Bastion this week or this month or however long a Bastion turn is, but each Bastion turn you could issue a number of orders to your Bastion that would then execute or carry out those orders. And like you get like an extra magic item, or you get a new horse or some potions, or the effects could be or really minimal with that system. But there's also no chance of failure. And the DM would basically roll a 20-sided die to see if an event of some sort occurred during that Bastion turn that might be interesting to create a plot hook. But it's a very stripped down social pillar version of Dominion play. It doesn't really get your characters involved in geopolitics. It doesn't really put them into a position to threaten or be threatened by other settlements, communities, or bastions, castles, stuff like that. So we wanted to reintroduce those old school mechanics of having a larger structure for your character to have more effect than I swing a sword. It's now I have an army, or I have political ties to these other settlements, or I've got trade routes established with these different guilds. All that sort of narrative creates adventure plot hooks for your characters to go on and affect the world. We want to reintroduce those ideas using the 5e game engine. So that's what the Bastion campaign does. So if you think this stuff is interesting, let me wrap up my intro by saying like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. A bunch of books I've already created on the DMsGuild that all have free previews. All my artwork in them and stuff are all here for you guys to take a look at. And similarly, the Bastion campaign system will have a very generous preview as well. But for now, we're working on the playtest document. And you could click this button as well. It'll take you to this Google Doc. It's going to be a read-only document for you for now. But again, once this thing actually publishes, the whole thing will be available for you to peruse and abuse on DMsGuild. And so if you want to participate in running scenarios with this, you can join my Discord server. which is linked right here. So be welcome to jump in, say, hey, what's up? And if you're interested in this style of play, bless you and welcome aboard. So in the meantime, we've been going through the facilities. We're in the process. So we have the rough draft of it. We already ran through the mechanics and been messing around with them. And there's already obvious ways for us to be able to simplify the system. And this isn't necessarily organized the most efficient way to make it easy for people to understand it. We'll hire an editor and a co-writer to help make sure that this thing flows smoothly once we get done with the actual mechanical stuff here. So this is a second pass, going through, revising, and simplifying rules to make it faster and easier for people to use and to be able to implement into their campaign easier without having to know a whole bunch of stuff. So the system works on ability checks. It's like a skill challenge at the organization level. You've got a number of hirelings that operate inside the Bastion, basically working in the various facilities that you have set up. Your Bastion gains ranks over time. The ranks coincide with your character's proficiency bonus gains. You can start a campaign right away at level 1 in a Bastion. You have a Bastion when it has 1 or more points. So first rank is equal to a first to 4th level character. Second rank is 5 to 8. Third, 9 to 12. Fourth, 3 to 16. Fifth, 17 to 20, coinciding with increases to your proficiency bonus at 1, 5, 9, 13, 17. You gain a rank by accumulating Bastion points that act as a resource to enhance and improve facilities and downtime activities and benefits from your Bastion by basically allocating Bastion points to different options that are available for your Bastion at different ranks. And so as you accumulate those points, your Bastion can do more stuff. And when you get to 11 points, you upgrade automatically to second rank. 21 is third rank. 31 is fourth rank. And then 41 or more points is fifth rank. It's all built around ability checks. So if you issue an order to your Bastion, like make me a set of armor while I'm out doing these things, your Bastion, like if you have a smithy or armory set up, for instance, you could issue the craft order to create the non-magical armor. And depending on what type of armor it is and how expensive, like its gold value, will set what the difficulty is. Like plate mail costing like 1,200 gold. That's like a DC 20. So the die roll that you would make would be a D20 plus the rank of your Bastion. Let's say you have a second rank Bastion. So second rank Bastion, D20 plus 2, and then you get a Bastion die. It's like a proficiency die from the variant rules in the DMG 2014, where instead of getting a set proficiency bonus like a character gets, the organization, the Bastion, has a Bastion die that acts as your proficiency bonus. So instead of having a +3 bonus to your proficiency, you'd have the D6. So it's a D20 plus 2 plus D6. And in the instance of a 1,200 gold value set of armor, that would be DC 20. So I would roll a D20 plus 2 plus D6, and if I got 20 or better, my team is going to successfully build that armor this week. And then at the end of the Bastion turn, assuming it's a week long, at the end of that week or the end of the Bastion turn, the armor is done. Here you go. If you fail the die roll, a complication occurs. There's either something wrong with the materials you're trying to use, it's a skill issue in that your hirelings don't actually know how to make the armor correctly. There could be some sort of sabotage that happens to your smithy or armory that prevents you from being able to complete it. There's a number of different types of complications that can occur. So when you fail the check, you roll on the complications table, and that then tells you what type of complication you have. And if that's something then the DM rolling up that complication makes up a story about, what went wrong with the armor, what's happening to your hirelings, what's wrong, why can't this thing get built? And then they present that to the players. Hey, you issued this order to make armor, we had a complication, here's what the complication is. If the players decide that's something fun they might enjoy exploring as characters, it becomes a plot hook. And for this next Bastion turn, this next week, they're dealing with the armorer complication. If they don't think it's interesting, but they still want they can't have the armor until the complication is resolved. So if they don't want to deal with it personally, they could issue an additional order to resolve the complication, and depending on what the complication is will dictate what sort of order it is that you're going to issue for them to resolve the complication. So, and then if they, so if the players think that the complication could be fun for an adventure, they go on that adventure. When they complete the adventure, whatever loot and information and plot progression stuff and character advancement that they have as a result of that adventure, on top of it, they get what they need to resolve the complication, and then the armor gets built. If they relegate it to their Bastion to resolve the problem themselves, they'll make another Bastion check, like a skill challenge, and the DC will still be the same. In this instance, the 1,200 gold piece value suit of armor they're trying to make is a DC 20. If they failed to make it at first and had a complication, the complication is also going to be a DC 20. But it's probably going to use it'll be using a different order other than crafting, because crafting created the problem. Crafting can't solve the problem. So whatever the complication says, it'll tell you what the complication is and what kind of an order you need to issue to resolve it. And then you would just use your Bastion rank to determine what that is. And again, we're second rank here. So again, it would be a D20 plus 2 plus D6. And then now it's taken 2 orders for you to try to complete that armor. And the second time, if you succeed in that skill test, then you resolve the complication and make the armor. If it fails again, you now have to wait another week, because the Bastion turn is going to end without that being resolved. It could escalate and become a bigger problem that's going to require more skill checks from your Bastion, wasting more time in getting this thing done. Or the players could decide, okay, this is becoming a hassle. Let's get directly involved before it spirals out of control. And then your team resolves it, and like before, you resolve the complications, you get whatever you get from that adventure, and you get the thing you were trying to do, in this case, make a suit of armor. So that's the gist of it. So the Bastion points allow you to purchase facilities that can be issued orders and provide benefits to your characters and to the Bastion in general. And the more points you have, the higher rank you get. The higher rank you have, the better your facilities become. And you use these points kind of like spending spell slots to maintain concentration on multiple facilities at the same time. It's 1 point per rank of facility, which can't exceed the Bastion rank. So if I have a second rank Bastion, the facilities in the Bastion can be up to second rank. Each rank for each facility costs 1 point. So like an 8-point facility, like if you have 8 points in your first rank Bastion, you can only put 1 point in each facility. So you could potentially have 8 facilities all at first rank, or you could hold on to a fistful of those points to be able to do things like, we had a complication, so now I'm going to spend one of my points to get an extra order so that I can resolve that complication without having to fatigue what my facility can actually do. Or I stank that roll, I'm going to burn a Bastion point to re-roll my D20 to see maybe if I'm going to like bards. If you fail an ability check, like some bards have the ability to give you a reaction to re-roll, like burn a bardic inspiration die and add that to your result. Maybe they'll make it into a success. In that sense, this operates like that. So right now, we're going through all the facilities. So looking at, we have a stack of 34 different facilities, and each facility can do 3 things. And there's 3 types of things that can be done. You can either provide a benefit to a facility benefits the entire Bastion. Downtime activities are things that your characters specifically receive benefits for if they spend a full Bastion turn in that facility. Like the meditation chamber. If your characters spend a full week in a meditation chamber, they get a divine charm that they can use to cast a spell, and you determine what that is depending on the rank of the facility. And then the other classification of facility properties are orders. Again, like craft armor, like a smithy can craft armor, or an armory can craft armor. A workshop can craft armor, but like normally a laboratory couldn't, unless you're like making bio armor. That might be something that the DM allows, in which case you'd be able to use the laboratory to make armor under this specific circumstance, because you, in your campaign, you've developed the ability to do that. So those are the 3 types of things that a facility has, and among them you have 3 things that each facility can do. Like the Arcane Study here, you can see it has 2 basic orders, and it has a unique order. So it can just do crafting, specific things. It can empower means to make magic items. So you can empower certain types of magic items, and then uniquely, the Arcane Study has a unique research action that allows your character to, issue a research order unique to this facility. Describe a new arcane spell onto a scroll that can be added to a spell book or a character's list of prepared spells. So this allows you to swap out, like to add spells to your spell book as a wizard, for instance, or like you spend a week. Like if you had a sorcerer, and a sorcerer doesn't change their spells until they gain a level, but with this Arcane Study, the sorcerer could spend time in the library researching how magic works, and at the end of the Bastion turn, you make an ability check, and since it's your character that's since like if your character were doing this, your character would make, like, say you want to swap out a third level spell that you prepared, but you don't get to change it until you gain a level, but you need something new. So you spend a week, a Bastion turn, in your Arcane Study, and at the end of it, you make your DC 15 check. If you succeed on the check, you can swap out one of your third level spells for a different third level spell. So it's kind of like you have a one spell prep time of a week. So that allows your characters to have more adaptive magic than what a bard or a warlock or a warlock, sorcerer, or bard, all arcane casters, by the way, more flexibility than they would normally otherwise have. While clerics, druids, and wizards can swap all their spells at the end of every long rest, all these other the other prep arcane casters can only change one spell every level. This allows you to change one spell every week by investing time in your Bastion making that change. Those are the ideas. So let's see. So we've gone through a number of these, and so each one of them has like three specific benefits that they provide, and that creates a template that makes it easy for us to be able to create new Bastions in the future, or for you as a DM, like if none of these things are quite hitting the mark of what you want, you can then make up your own facilities that are appropriate for your campaign. So, like we're going to be running Storm King's Thunder in the new year as a Spelljammer campaign, and when we do, the Dwarven Citadel that the team is going to have is going to be their Bastion, and one of the facilities inside of that Dwarven Citadel is a mecha hangar. So the war golems that the characters are going to pilot to fight space kaiju, it has a hangar bay that houses and repairs and enhances and improves the mecha or the war golems that are kept in it. That would be a facility that doesn't exist in these rules, but using this template that we have, we know that we could create a mecha hangar bay for a Spelljammer campaign that has like Bionoids or like Spirit Warriors or Dwarven War Golems. So I'm really looking forward to running that campaign. That's going to be on my Discord server. You guys are welcome to hang out if you want. Links down below. But we've gone through we've updated most of the facilities so far. And we're going to, let's see. You know what? The more I think about it, actually, I love doing this process because it makes me think things through. And going back up to the Arcane Study, we were looking at this being a unique order of research, but I actually think that should be a downtime activity. Downtime activity. Let's see. Thank you, timer. Let's see. Let's go find another downtime. There's not a lot of downtime activities, so I kind of think this is a fun opportunity. Let's go find one. Downtime activity. Here we go. This is going to be, let's see, Arcane Preparation. A character that spends a Bastion turn in this facility studies the arcane art to change or improve your prepared spells. At the end of a Bastion turn, make a intelligence arcana check to change one prepared spell, one of your prepared spells. The DC is the level of spell that can be prepared. The level of prepared spell that can be swapped this way is, and this way, the level of the prepared spell that can be swapped this way, comma, and the difficulty and the DC to do so is determined by the rank of this facility as listed below. Period. There you go. So a first rank facility can swap a cantrip or a first level spell, and it only takes a DC 10 to do that. Second rank facility can swap a second or third level spell with a DC 15. Third rank facility, fourth and fifth with DC 20. Fourth rank facility, sixth, seventh level spell for a 25 DC. And then a fifth rank facility, eighth and ninth level spell, DC 30. And then the hyphen there, or the asterisk there, is the wish spell cannot be selected for researching for arcane preparation this way, period. You know what? Actually, I don't need to do that. Let's clean up the language a little bit better. Arcane preparation equals a character that spends a Bastion turn in this facility can study the arcane arts to swap a prepared spell for a new one, or add a new spell to a wizard's spellbook. Can swap a prepared spell for a new one on your spell list. There we go. That resolves the wish language, because the spell has to be on your spell list to be able to do it. Or add a new spell to a Warlock's, or add a new wizard spell to a wizard's spellbook. At the end of the Bastion turn, make an intelligence arcana check to change one of your prepared spells. Change one of your prepared spells or add it to your wizard's spell book. The level of the burp, bump, bump, bump. Burp, 1, 2, 3, and then save. The level of prepared spell that can be swapped. The level of the prepared spell. The level of the spell. We can simplify that. The level of the spell. And the DC to swap or the level of the spell and the corresponding DC is determined by the rank of the facility as listed, of this facility as listed below. Perfect. Even better. Perfect. Okay, cool. So that took care of that. So that is a downtime activity. Let's remove this one and keep that one. Easy fix. Okay, great. So now we're going to go down to, technically, let's see where we're at in the stack. We are at, going back up here, we are all the way down. We only have 4 left, so we have training areas next. This one's really fun. So let's kick on down to the training area. And once we finish these few remaining facilities, we'll see how much time we have left. We only have an hour lunch, so I've got like a half hour left. So I'll probably actually eat up most of my time here, but we might be able to start getting into the orders, downtime activities, and facility benefits, like how those work. So I'm looking for training area. There it is. Training area. Thank you. I do this. I stream I stream design ideas like this on Mondays and Thursday nights and Tuesday, Friday lunches. It's Friday lunch today. On Monday, I'm going to be back and I'll be working on this for probably a few hours in the evening. And then I do artwork for all my books on Monday through Fridays in the morning with my morning coffee before I go to work, before I go to my day job. I do artwork for an hour or so, and so the artwork that I do in the morning is for whatever book is going to get published on the DMsGuild next. We're currently building an Eberron adventure, and then after that, while we're finishing the artwork for Eberron, I anticipate finishing up this rough draft and getting an editor to chew on it. So by the time the Eberron adventure publishes and my mornings open up for a new project, this will be in edits, and I can start working on the book cover in the mornings. And by the time the book cover is done, hopefully we'll get the document back from our editor, and we'll start to be able to break it down into page layouts and create the spaces inside the document for the next set of artwork that we'll then do all the artwork for in the mornings, and then we'll move on to the next book on our Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday design streams, which will be the color mana system being updated from 2014 to the new 2024 rules, including the UA Scion, assuming it makes it through testing, as well as the martial power system that we've been playtesting for the past year on my Discord channel. So really looking forward to building that. But this is my Council of Allies has determined that the Bastion campaign is more important to the D&D community than me updating the color mana rules. Bastions are a more universally applicable resource that anyone can use in any campaign, regardless if they're running an MTG campaign or not. But once it's completed, it absolutely works with the color mana system that we've developed for the MTG campaign settings, and will definitely complement them with Piety, the Strixhaven College credits, and the Ravnica Renown system. All can make use of the Bastion campaign and the color coding that we have for Magic. That all folds together. So this is actually a really good piece to complete first. And then the Martial Powers book, and then probably at that point update the actual color mana system. So we got a lot on our plate for the next year. If you think this stuff is cool, stick around. But here's the training area. It is a second rank, so we're gonna go down here. We're gonna go to prerequisites, Copy. Prerequisite, rank 2 Bastion. Is that accurate? Training area is rank 2. Facility benefits. When making an empower check, you can roll an additional Bastion. When making a basic empower check, because there's a difference between basic, variants, and unique orders. Let me make sure that language is accurate. When issuing a basic empower order, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility, period. So normally, like we were talking about earlier, when you're making a Bastion check, when you issue an order, your hirelings are going to make a ability check or a Bastion check to determine if they succeed at carrying out the order or not. It's a D20 plus the rank of the Bastion plus the Bastion die. And the default Bastion die is going to typically be, if you issued the order through a facility, it's going to be whatever proficiency die that facility uses. If you have a third rank facility, like if you have a third rank Bastion with a third rank, a third rank arcane study to make like if you want to enchant a scroll, so you have a magic spell, a magic scroll, right? You can do that with an arcane study, and then you have a second rank training area. Third rank are D8s. Second rank is D6s. First rank is D4, so it's D4, D6, D8, D10, D12. So a third rank Bastion with a third rank arcane study and a second rank training area would roll a D20 plus 3 for the rank of the Bastion, plus a D8 because it's a third rank arcane study, and because of this facility benefit, also a D6 for the training area. So you roll the D20 plus 3, and then whichever is higher, the D8 or the D6, whichever result is higher, you then add that to the plus 3 and the D20 result. And then if you hit the DC that you need, you're successful. So when you have these facility benefits that lets you roll multiple dice, you always keep the dice could be different depending on which facility is granting you the bonus die based on the rank of that facility. But once it does, you're rolling multiple dice and keeping the best result amongst them. So when you get a really advanced Bastion with lots of facilities that synergize together like that are all high rank, you could be rolling like 4 10-sided dice together and keeping the best result of those 4 10-sided dice. It's probably going to be like an 8, 9, or a 10. So more dice means you're more likely to roll an above average result beyond what your proficiency bonus would have been for an equal level character. It's like a 13th level character has a plus 4 bonus, a plus 5 bonus, and a fourth rank facility rolls a D10. So it's either plus 5, which is the average result of a D10, or you roll a D10, potentially rolling worse, or if you have multiple dice, most likely rolling as good as or better than that plus 5. And if your character is actually executing that order themselves with the help of the Bastion in the facility, like if you put your butt in that facility and stay there for a week and help make that magic scroll, it's going to use your character's arcane bonus, your skill. You're going to make a skill check, and then you'll add the Bastion die that you get to keep to the result, like a Bardic Inspiration die. So there's nothing about this system that is any different from what mechanics we can already use in the 5e game engine to succeed at skill checks. It's just a different narrative and a different resource system in the form of a Bastion with their facilities that you've invested in and improved to be able to provide that Bardic Inspiration die for you. So that's the facility benefit. Downtime activities. Characters that spend a Bastion turn in this facility gain a character boon. The boon that a character can gain is determined by the rank of this facility is determined by, this is old language, so we have to fix it, by the rank of this facility up to the listed character level, comma. only one such boon can be active per character at a time. So this is going to be rank. Versus level. So if I have a 1st to 4th level character, I can use the training area as a first rank training area to gain a weapon proficiency, an armor proficiency, or learn a language. And I can only have one such boon active on my character at a time. So like say I gain medium armor proficiency. I now have medium armor proficiency, but that's the only boon I can gain from this facility. If I instead, like, say I get that at 3rd level, and now my wizard now has access to like medium armor. I can't then also gain that boon to advance it to heavy armor because I already have a boon on my character, and that boon doesn't count as a feat. So it's not like I could when my wizard gets to 4th level, if I wanted to, I could then take the medium armor feat. And then I could switch out my downtime activity to enhance that medium armor to now become heavy armor feat, or the proficiency in heavy armor. So I could benefit from that and be a tanky wizard. But that's the only boon that I would get. Meanwhile, like at 2nd rank as a 5th to 8th level character, I could have any of these, but I could also gain a skill proficiency, a tool proficiency, or I could learn a weapon mastery. So like normally a blade singer, the blade singer class, right? Normally a wizard would not have access to any weapon masteries unless they specifically spent a proficiency on it, but you do gain proficiency with, like, say, a longsword. So using this facility at, say, 5th level, my blade singer could use this, like, drop the heavy armor proficiency. I'm a blade singer, I don't need heavy armor. So instead, I'm going to learn, like, say I'm using a longsword, I'm going to pick up the Vex Mastery. So now I'll have advantage on my next attack roll. So I can hit you with an attack, vex you, and then pop you with a cantrip with advantage to the attack roll, for instance. 9th level, 3rd rank, gain a feat that you qualify for, or you could gain expertise in one skill that you're proficient with. And if I gain a skill proficiency at 5th level, that's using the only boon I have access to. So I would have to, like, say, take the skilled feat to get access to the skill that I had previously picked up. But now that I have that skill as a feat, it opens up my boon slot. So now I can pick up, say, expertise in whatever that skill is. 4th level, gain proficiency with one saving throw. And then at 17th to 20th level, gain one epic feat you qualify for, ignoring the 19th level prerequisite. So using this facilities, it allows you to gain access to an extra epic feat at an earlier level than you would normally get at the 19th level. So it's a pretty good, that's a really nice perk. Orders, recruit. You can issue a basic recruit order to attract a warrior or expert sidekick as a hireling that can also accompany your character on adventures as detailed in the issuing orders section below. So there's different types of monsters and NPCs. As your Bastion grows in rank and assumedly your characters grow in rank alongside that, you can attract more and more exotic or powerful creatures or NPCs to operate out of your Bastion. And if you have a suitably high level character in command of that Bastion, then you can take those creatures out and basically convert them into sidekicks. Like, you don't want to take like a silver dragon with you, like a CR12 silver dragon out with you on adventuring, but you could convert that silver dragon into, like, say, a 12th level expert or a 12th level warrior or a 12th level adept, and it would keep its hit points, sure, and its stats and its attack roll, but it would then gain the benefits of that sidekick class instead of its monster stat block at the DM's discretion. So those are the benefits of the training area. So quick and simple. Again, each facility has 3 things that they can do, and the 3 types of things that can be done are issuing orders, character downtime activities, or facility benefits that provide benefits to the entire Bastion depending on what you're doing. And then, so like you could have 3 facility benefits like the teleportation circle has. You could have multiple downtime activities like the gaming room, or you could have 3 orders like the I think the smithy has 3 orders that you can issue to, or you can have any kind of blend of them. So when you're building your own facilities using this system, you know that there's 3 things that you can let your facility do, and you can use all of these other facilities to frame it. Like I want to build a facility that instead of giving me a bonus when I use the empower action, I want something that like say it's like maybe it's House Cannith in Eberron, and your facility is a Forge of Creation. So if you have a Forge of Creation installed inside your Bastion, when issuing a basic crafting check to make non-magical items, you would roll an additional die equal to the rank of the engine of creation that you have installed. And that's going to give you the extra die roll to help guarantee that your hirelings, when they're making stuff, they'll have an extra die to improve their chances of succeeding the ability check or the Bastion check needed to make whatever item is. It's like, we don't have an engine of creation inside this Bastion, but using these rules, you could easily pick out 3 things that you think are cool and have your new unique facility custom to your game be able to provide those benefits. So we'll provide a brief section on creating your own facilities that outline these parameters of how to make a balanced facility. So really easy. It's like really, really easy. Once you go through all these things, you can see the recurring pattern of what the facilities do. And then once we actually get down into the facility benefits and the downtime activities and the orders that you can issue, you're going to see a recurring pattern over and over again of how to determine the DCs of things and the timing involved and the gold value or rarity and the DCs that are connected to them. It's all a very systematic approach to crafting and benefits and advancing your characters. So fun stuff. I think it's fun stuff anyway. Hopefully you like it too. So now we're moving on to the trophy room. Trophy room when issuing, trophy room, 1, 2, 3 benefits. When issuing the recruit order to acquire monsters, specialists, or sidekicks, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to, and then in parentheses, equal to the rank of this facility. What level do we get a trophy room? Let's trophy room you can start getting as early as 1st rank. Prerequisite rank 1. When issuing a basic recruit order to acquire monsters, specialists, or sidekicks, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. When issuing a basic research order to gain information about creatures or items, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. And when issuing a basic trade order to acquire non or magical items, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. Period. So the trophy room doesn't give you anything new, but it enhances the things that you can already do. Kind of like as demonstrations, like here's all this cool stuff that we've already acquired or made that we can make reference to or inspire us to empower, create, or make a deal with people to access new stuff. Trophy room, boy, that was easy. Okay, so let's look at the war room. War room requires, it's a 4th rank facility, so you can't get access to this until level 13. But similar, this is level 13. You should really be thinking about warfare and geopolitics and impacting the world. So you having a war room that's going to benefit you in Bastion and settlement conflicts using armies of hirelings to attack other facilities or to sabotage locations. that makes a lot of sense at that level. Facility benefits. When issuing an order to attack a rival bastion or settlement, you can roll an additional bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. We used to have more complicated rules for when you can and can't add a die and how high of level it is, but it was too complicated, so we simplified the whole thing. When issuing the research order to learn information about neighboring nations, rivals, local events, or NPCs, you can roll an additional bastion die equal to the rank of this facility, period. You can do rumor mongering and reputate, like sabotage and like damage people's reputations, or to disable facilities or bastion. Like bastion points not only allocate resources and allow you to manipulate bastion checks or die rolls. Bastion points also act as your hit point pool. This is a very Numenera cipher system concept where you're using those points to establish facilities inside your bastion that gives your characters benefits. But if your bastion is attacked and you take damage, some of these bastion points become disabled. And so that means, like, if you had, like, say 23 points and you take 7 points of damage, that's going to drop you down from 23 bastion points down to 16 bastion points. And now you have to peel off 7 bastion points off of facilities, or take it away from your lifestyle that you're maintaining, or remove your ability to issue additional orders or modify your die rolls. It's depleting your resources. And you can issue orders after a sabotage to start repairing your facility to regain the bastion points, basically self-healing yourself. That eats up one of your bastion's orders. So if you're constantly, like if you're being sieged in a castle and you can issue 3 orders per bastion turn, and the enemy that's sieging you can also issue 3 orders each bastion turn, that sieging army might just use all 3 orders to attack your bastion 3 times. And if those attacks are all successful, you in the defending bastion may have to use all of your orders to simply just repair all of the points of damage that your bastion took. So they attack you, you repair it. You're at a standoff unless somebody can somehow break the stalemate and make a difference. That's when your characters are going to want to get involved. We need to break down that wall, or we need to drive off this invasion. We need to activate our characters to go, like, take out the general, or, you know, whatever individual quests you would come up with. This provides a structured frame of combat at a larger scale beyond just your characters, to actually have a combat scenario where you're able to track the depletion of troops and resources of defeating an army to the point where we're taking too much, we have to retreat. Or our bastion has been dropped to 0 bastion points. It's now been leveled. We can't defend it anymore. Your troops rout, and you now have to go rebuild a bastion elsewhere or reclaim this. The army that comes in and takes control of that facility, of that settlement or that castle or whatever, they now take control of it, and they start investing their orders to start repairing it and take ownership and command of that castle you've been overthrown and usurped, right? Using sabotage instead of a siege, you could, like, say, perform a coup. And so if the bastion that acts as a government in a settlement, if you can drop that government resource down to 0 bastion points, it has effectively lost control of its settlement. It is no longer a governing power. And you could do that with characters or assassins or your a spy network that you can set up as a facility to go sabotage people. And you can use your theater to sabotage people and organizations as a character assassination. You're damaging their reputation so badly that they start losing resources and trade connections, depleting their bastion points. So there's a lot of really fun ways that you can use the bastion point and the combat system in here to narrate different types of geopolitical conflicts, either physically or, like, spiritually. Like, if you're having churches that are at war with each other, you could expend bastion points to have, like, angels and demons fighting each other in the astral plane to cut off the connection, the divine connection from their god to that church. So like your facilities can't provide a higher level magic than say 3rd level divine magic now, because you've lost access to the 5th, 4th, and 3rd rank of your church because demons are sabotaging your spiritual connection to your god through that church. There's a lot of really fun ways that you can make this system interact with the world through both mundane and fantastical means. So kind of geek out about it, don't mind me. Hopefully it's exciting to you too. But yeah, the war room, super easy. So when issuing an order to attack a rival bastion or settlement, so when issuing a research order to learn information about a neighboring nation and rivals in local events, NPCs, you can roll an additional bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. And then the order to recruit is you can issue a basic recruit order, a basic recruit order to hire a number of CR 1/2 soldiers to defend the bastion or attack a rival as detailed in the issuing orders section below. So you have a barracks which helps populate your bastion with troops that can defend it, or it's recruiting because you're specifically trying to sequester or gather troops to form an army to go attack something. That's most appropriately a recruit order. So you gather troops and you go attack. There you go. And you're paying for the lifestyle of these troops while they're on the road. So you're spending bastion points to purchase lifestyles so that they're comfortable and happy. And if you start dropping below a poor lifestyle, they start to desert and mutiny against you. So like if you have a Spelljammer ship, that Spelljammer ship is your bastion. And the crew that's aboard the ship are your hirelings on board. And you want to maintain at least a poor lifestyle while they're aboard the ship so they don't try to mutiny you. The higher the rank, the higher level of lifestyle that you provide, the more likely you are to resist any kind of mutinies happening, because it's going to take a higher and higher die roll for the crew to mutiny against you. So that's the idea there. So War Room is resolved, and that takes us down to the last one, which is the workshop. How are we looking? We're looking good. So workshop. 1, 2, buckled shoe. Workshop. What rank can we get a workshop? 1st rank. So let's go up here to the trophy room. Is this stuff making sense to you guys? Is this all? Hopefully this narrative is folding together for everybody. But my Discord is linked in the description down below if you're interested in being involved in making use of this document. Again, the link to the document is down below. This is still a very rough draft. It's just trying to lay out the mechanics of the system in a logical flow so that you can pick it up and chew on it and see about implementing it into your campaign. It works with honestly, it works with virtually any role-playing game as a separate game. It works obviously fluid smooth with D&D 5e, but also works with 4e, 3.0. Not the spell level stuff is kind of off with 4e, but it works with 3e, 5e. It works with Pathfinder 1 and 2, Starfinder 1 and 2. It works with Beckme. It works with Shadow Dark. Yeah, any OSR, Dungeon Crawl Classics. The basic structure of D20, high number good, hit a target number sort of game, or any game that converts spell casting into spell levels and spell slots, which most of the D20 games do. This works fine with those systems with very little modification, though obviously it's built specifically for 5e. It has a much broader application than that. So I'm using it in Shadow Dark in my Eberron Spelljammer Shadow Dark game. So let's see, workshop. So orders, craft. You can issue a basic craft order. You can issue a basic craft order to create non-magical items. And then we have a list of, if you haven't seen it, at the very back of the book. What does it say? Currently a 50-page document. That's not bad. But here's all the magic item. Here's all the magic item categories and all non-magical items that are in the Player's Handbook 24. And you can see here, like for example, if you want to make a musical instrument, it's typically less than 100 gold to make a musical instrument. So that typically means it's going to be a common rarity, which is a DC 10. You have common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and legendary. which scales at DC 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, staying inside the bounded accuracy of the 5e game system, and using the ability check system that is built into the player's handbook, with the Bastion die being the best result of your Bastion die, not added all up, you're going to stay within that bounded accuracy curve of DC 10 to 30. Pretty elegant. I love 5e. I love the 5e game engine so much. Disguise kits, like a costume, for instance. We were looking at musical instruments. And materials are either going to be plant, animal, or mineral. Animal, mineral, and plant. Those are the three types of materials that you need, which you can gain through trade or by harvesting them from settlements that are designed to provide that sort of material for your characters. So musical instruments, any kind of, depending on what you're making, depends on what kind of material that you need. But it's typically going to be a common rarity, less 100 golds or less. Sorry, my phone's ringing. I'm trying to ignore it. Sorry. And you can make a musical instrument if you have a theater or workshop facility. It's like the workshop that we're looking at here, order, craft. You can issue a basic craft order to create non-magical items and then see the list below. Here's the list. Workshop is listed for navigator tools, musical instruments, thieves tools, gaming set, disguise kit. Like workshop can do a lot. Like having a workshop, if you're planning on getting into crafting, you're probably gonna want to have a workshop as a priority. Glass blower could be a smithy or a workshop, jeweler's tools, like all this stuff. So like armor, to make padded or leather armor, you could make that in a workshop, or you could also make it in an armory. But like if you want to make like full plate or half plate, you need an armory or a smithy specifically, because it's more specialized than just a workshop. At some point, your workshop becomes a smithy because you have so much smithy gear in it. It's like, what is it really? Like, what do you want to make with it? That's what you want to make is going to determine what facilities you want to have. Hey, what's going on? It's good to see you, Fernando. This is coming along. Empower. You can issue a basic empower order to create magical items. Specifically in the workshop, you can create implements, rings, rods, and wondrous items. So if we go down here and we look at magic items, get past all the mundane shit. And vehicles, and siege equipment, food and drink, poison, food and drink. You can see here that like garden, greenhouse, pubs. Those are what make, like you make brew in a pub. You know, it kind of makes sense. Like, hey, this is my winery or whatever. Poisons, magic items. Here you go. So here's the list of types of magic items, right? It's like a rod. You can make a rod, a magic rod with an arcane study, a reliquary, a sacristy, sanctuary, smithy, or a workshop. Hey, what's up? Have you consider to stream your games? Most of the time, the games are playtesting. And the people that are willing to volunteer for playtesting don't necessarily want to have their face posted online. Plus, we can devolve into arguments about how game mechanics are supposed to work that ultimately helps us build out how the mechanics end up working. So for the most part, no, I don't stream my playtesting games. But I'm not opposed. I have ran games online before on different channels, mainly to demonstrate how the color mana system works that I built for Magic the Gathering. But I personally am not ever opposed to running a game online, and I would be happy to do so. It's just a matter of what campaign, what system, and who's involved that's willing to do so. But yeah, I'm not opposed to that at all. It's just I don't think playtesting is the correct format specifically to use. I have gotten some permission from some of my playtesters that if I wanted to, I could publish snippets or sessions that I have recorded in the past for reference. But it's not something I assumed I would do. But if it's a completed product and it's something that we know works well and I'm comfortable with it, and I think I have a cool thing that I have set up, yeah, I would absolutely do that. But for the empowering works like crafting. Each type of item that you would create is can be created in different types of facilities with varying levels of rarity. Obviously, again, common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and a legendary. First rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank, fifth rank. So if I want to make a legendary battle axe, I need to have a fifth rank Bastion with a fifth rank Armory, Reliquary, or Smithy. So that means I have to have, yeah. And once I have a fifth rank facility like this, I can basically make any magic item, any magic weapon that I want. Assuming it doesn't get sabotaged or damaged or cursed or some sort of weird complication shuts it down. But okay, so you can issue a basic and power order to create magical items. And then the third order is you can issue a recruit order unique to this facility to coax a spirit into the body of a golem constructed in this facility to serve as a hireling and defend the bastion. The CR of golem created this way is determined by the number of points spent to improve this facility up to the rank. That's bad language. We replaced that. The CR of the golem created this way is determined by the rank of this facility as listed below, period. There you go. So first rank is up to CR1, is a DC 10 to coax the spirit. Rank 2, DC CR5. Rank 3, CR9. Rank 4, CR13. Rank 5 is 14 and above. The DC correspondingly is 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then here's some examples of different type of constructs that fit that description. Animated armor, homunculus, iron defender for first rank. You can read it just as easily. While a golem remains within the bastion and the workshop is undamaged, it can be commanded without difficulty. If it leaves, or the bastion, or the facilities, if it leaves or this facility is damaged, the golem can break free and act independently until it can be returned or the facility is repaired. Period. So you can issue a recruit order unique to this facility to coax a spirit bomb this way. Determine the rank of the. Let's see. The CR of the golem is created this way is determined by the rank of the facility as listed below. And then you can have a number of golems defending your bastion equal to the rank of this facility. So at 5th rank, I can have 5 golems that are defending my bastion, and they could all be with enough proper construction: a colossus, an iron golem, a steel predator. So this is kind of more of an NPC thing. But I mean, because they defend your bastion, and if they no longer defend your bastion, or if your bastion is destroyed, they now become free roaming golems that could, attack the countryside or whatever. And like a flesh golem is CR is a second rank construct. This is like Frankenstein's monster, right? People show up, they burn down the workshop. The flesh golem is now free to roam and attacks people blindly, and now there you go. That's Frankenstein. So so you can have up the 5th rank. You got to 5 of them defending, and you don't take them with you on adventures. They're just there to defend your bastion. So if your bastion's being attacked, you can employ these golems to defend it. But more likely, the scenario is that if your team goes and attacks a bastion as a character mission, this and like the Scriptorum can have magic sigils and stuff like that. There's a number of different things in the bastions that have defenders that are set up that act as encounters and challenges that your characters have to defeat as they go through the bastion, or like the castle that they're invading, or the wizard's tower that they're invading, or the dungeon that they're attacking. coincidentally, all these different facilities are really good at providing a theme for dungeon rooms. So if you're like breaking into a dungeon, that dungeon might have like a greenhouse in it, so that there's like a mushroom forest in there. That could be like a garden or a greenhouse. There could be a crypt, like if this is a buried tomb, there could be a crypt in this dungeon that's animating skeletons that are roaming the dungeon that you have to fight as random encounters. There could be, if it's a lich's lair, then you could see it could have an arcane study and a scriptorum, and as a result of that arcane study and that scriptorum, there's going to be if you could take the dungeon without destroying it, you could like take ownership of this dungeon and now claim the lich's arcane study and start using it as your own facility. But like if it has a scriptorum in there, it might have a number of magical traps that are set up at different choke points in the like guards and wards, or like a fireball script or sigil, or like a hold person sigil, or like a summon bees, whatever it is. But you can use these different facilities to flavor and theme different regions inside your dungeon to be those facilities. So that just automatically feeds you the information about what's in the dungeon, what kind of defenders could you expect with it, and what kind of like traps and resistance, and gives you a reason to want to take over the dungeon, to maybe loot it of its treasure, or to scrap it out and like peel out all of the resources in it to gather a pile of bastion points that you can then transfer to your own bastion elsewhere, or take control and ownership of the dungeon to become another bastion that you control while you're in that area. And you can set up franchises to have multiple bastions across the planes, across the multiverse, as your character grows in power. There you go. It can go as deep as you want to go down the rabbit hole of using bastions to frame the language of resources and options available to NPCs and monsters throughout your campaign world. So, hence Bastion campaigns. Hey, what's up? In addition to creating the Bastion system, are you going to create a campaign that knows how to get the most out of the system? That's going to be in the DM section. So we're building the mechanics for this right now, but then we're going to have a DM section that talks about ideas and themes about building this, and like taking like I can convert Waterdeep, the whole city of Waterdeep, into a Bastion system, and I've done it before. So I'll just codify that, and like I can take the Simic Combine, like a gene therapy clinic in the Simic Combine in Ravnica setting. I can convert that into a Bastion to demonstrate how you would set that up, and then I can provide in the DMs like here's a sequence of Bastion events that happens, or like here's a dungeon, and you can see how this is framed. Like this area, and this area are different facilities. Like the Eberron adventure that I've been illustrating in the mornings. All the rooms in the final dungeon are broken up into different facilities: barracks, laboratory, teleportation circle, a training area, arcane study, and there's others, but they've been destroyed. So those are the 5 facilities that are current. Oh, a store and a storehouse. So those are the 6 facilities that are currently active inside of the Eberron campaign final dungeon, the research facility that the team is going to raid and take control of. And one of the benefits that you get from that adventure is you take ownership of that facility to become your Bastion. And all the different rooms are like literally titled barracks, workshop, storehouse, scriptorum. Like it literally, like those rooms they're literally called those rooms so that you can make them facilities in the Bastion if you take control of them, or understand what their purpose is, what role they have. Like in the laboratory, they're using the crafting order to create alchemical supplies and magical components. That's what you can do with a laboratory, and that's what they're doing in the laboratory. So yeah. But if you're asking like we could make like Bastions of Ravnica. We could take all 10 of the guilds and then provide specific unique facilities for all of them, and then like a Boros Legion stronghold could have barracks and an armory and a war room, blah blah blah, as opposed to like Bastions of Eberron. We could take the 13 houses, Dragonmark houses, and convert them into bastions, and what kind of facilities they would have in their in their different bastions as well. So this is compatible with the other books that you are writing. Yeah, it is. It's 100% compatible with everything else. If you look at the Strixhaven College credits, once your character accumulates a certain amount of credits, the university starts giving you Bastion facilities to advance your studies. Like if you're in Silver Quill or Prismari, you could get like a theater. And then once you get to like really high level, and you can become faculty, where you're no longer having to necessarily follow the rules of the college. So now you can like set up a pub, or like a teleportation circle, or a planar portal that can take you to across the blind eternities to other realms. So yeah, absolutely. I'm already referencing that stuff in the other books that I've been building. It all folds together. This same CR system for creatures is already inside of the Spelljammer book that I published. That's linked down below. So if you start implementing, it has rules about mutinies aboard your ship, and that will fold well into like usurping or like overthrowing a government, for instance. So all these things are designed to work together. And so yeah, if you have a bunch of my books, as I update all of them for 2024, you'll see more and more of these mechanics self-referencing each other, but also being sufficient to stand alone. Like here's the idea of a crew mutinying on your Spelljammer ship. If you really want to dive into your Spelljammer ship as a Bastion, check out the Bastion campaign book that I built. There you go. So yeah, and we have officially finished our list of Bastion facilities, and my lunch shift is over. So that all is convenient. I'm going to go ahead and stop for the day. When we come back and play again on Monday night, we're going to start working on the facility properties, the facility benefits, downtime activities, and issuing orders to make sure that these are all codified properly to work together with the new language that we're updating this with. So we'll spend a couple hours doing that on Monday night. Monday morning we'll be back doing more Eberron artwork for the adventure that we're publishing that we've been talking about. And then hopefully tomorrow morning we'll have a bunch of people show up, and we'll be playtesting the Mega Dungeon using the Martial Power System. So again, if you guys think this stuff is cool, you can like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, get notifications, jump into my Discord channel, check out my books down below. They all have free previews. And yeah, thanks a lot. Fernando, I really appreciate you swinging by, man. It's good to see you again. Cheers. And everyone else, I really appreciate everyone being here. So I'll see you guys soon. Later.